Most people don't fail at night. They fail in the first hour of their day, without even realizing it. They wake up tired, scroll for just a minute, delay one decision, and suddenly they're already behind. And here's the dangerous part. It feels normal. But what if I told you your entire day is decided before breakfast? And there's one small habit, something most people ignore, that quietly destroys your momentum every single morning. What's the very first thing you do after waking up? Mark is 34. He works a standard 8-hour shift at a warehouse in a small town. Nothing fancy, nothing terrible, just stuck. Every morning, his alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m. He hits snooze. Once, then twice, then again. By the time he actually gets up, it's 7:10. He rushes, skips breakfast, grabs his phone, checks messages, social media, news. By 7:45, he's already stressed, not because something bad happened, but because he started the day reacting instead of deciding. And the worst part? He thought this was normal, but what felt normal was quietly costing him more than he realized. At work, Mark wasn't lazy. He showed up, did his job, stayed out of trouble, but he never moved forward. No promotion, no new opportunities, no real progress in over 3 years. Bills stayed the same. His energy got worse. And every night, he told himself, tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow always started the same way. One late morning turned into weeks. Weeks turned into years. And slowly, something deeper started to build. Frustration, doubt, quiet regret. Because deep down, he knew it wasn't his job holding him back. It was how he started his day. And one morning, something small forced him to finally see it. It didn't look like a turning point. No crisis, no big failure, no wake-up call moment. Just a random Tuesday. Mark opened his eyes at 7:20 a.m. Again. His alarm had been ringing since 6:30. He jumped out of bed, already behind. No breakfast, no plan, just movement. By 8:15, he was at work, but not really present. Rushed, distracted, trying to catch up. Around 10:40 a.m., his supervisor walked over, calm but direct. A delivery task had been missed. Small mistake, but avoidable. Nothing serious happened, but the sentence that followed stayed with him. You don't have a work problem. You have a morning problem. It wasn't harsh. That's why it hit harder. On the way home, Mark kept replaying it. Because deep down, he knew it was true. That night, he didn't try to fix everything. No big goals, no dramatic promises, just one clear decision. Tomorrow, I control the first 30 minutes. No negotiation, no overthinking, bridge. Because he finally realized change doesn't start with motivation, it starts with a system. A few days later, Mark spoke to an older coworker named Daniel. Daniel had been working there for years, but recently got promoted. Calm, focused, consistent. Mark asked him one question: how did you change things? Daniel didn't talk about motivation. He gave him a simple system. The 6-step morning reset. 1. Wake up at the same time daily. 2. Sit up immediately. No snooze. 3. Drink a glass of water first. 4. Write top 3 priorities for the day. 5. Do the hardest task first. Low. Avoid phone for 30 minutes. No long routines, no complicated habits, just clear actions. Daniel said, "You don't need a better life. You need a better first hour." And this is where most people get it wrong. The first week was messy. Mark still felt tired, still reached for his phone sometimes, still wanted to snooze. But something changed. He didn't restart. He didn't quit. Day by day, small improvements. Day 3, woke up on time. Day 5, wrote his priorities before work. Day 7, finished his hardest task before 10 a.m. For the first time in years, he felt ahead, not perfect, but in control. Pattern interrupt to 60%. Here's the part nobody expects. It wasn't about waking up earlier. It was about removing decisions. Less thinking, more doing. And that changed everything. But progress always gets tested. 3 weeks later, the test showed up. Not at work, not in some big moment, but on a random night when everything felt off. Mark stayed up late, past midnight. By the time he got to bed, he knew this would be one of those mornings, the kind where skipping feels justified. 4 hours later, the alarm rang. 6:30 a.m. His body felt heavy. His mind immediately offered the old script. Skip today. You can restart Monday. He sat there for a second. Same bed, same excuse, same choice. But this time, something was different. He didn't think. He followed. Sat up, feet on the floor, 1 glass of water, 3 priorities written down. No energy, no motivation, just the system. And that morning, something shifted. He didn't fall behind. He didn't rush. By 9:45 a.m., his hardest task was already done. Pattern interrupt. Here's what most people miss. Consistency doesn't feel powerful in the moment. It feels small, almost invisible. But by the end of that month, people noticed. 2 months later, Mark wasn't just keeping up anymore. He was moving forward. Not because he worked harder, but because he stopped losing the morning. Most people think they need more motivation. They don't. They need fewer decisions in the morning. Because when you wake up without a system, you don't choose your day, you drift into it. But when you control the first hour, you control the direction. And direction becomes results. So here's the real question. What's one thing in your morning that's quietly holding you back? Comment it below. And if this made you think differently, subscribe, because the next video shows the one habit most people ignore that changes everything.